In an ideal world, what does WWE 2K Online look like? My name is Tubby Moo. Alongside me is TonyPizzaGuy, and we have to ask the big questions because we think we stumbled upon one of the greatest ideas for the history of WWE games, and we hope you stick around to listen to that. If you don't want to, we'll probably put the meat of the idea in the description if you want to click ahead. But TonyPizzaGuy, we came up with this idea talking about the DLC roadmap, which they can find that video in the link in the description as well as we start this WWE 2K discussion series. So, Tony, this is the one I'm leading. So let me ask you this. What would you think about a WWE 2K online lobby where, listen, we know we're not going to get the Fortnite. We know, like you mentioned before, we know you can't drop down 100 superstars. How are you going to get a plane into WWE Arena? This isn't a flyover. This isn't WrestleMania at the outdoor arenas. This is you come in on a community event when you click WWE Online and it says, tune in at 7 o'clock tonight, just like WWE Raw. You could buy a ticket to where you can't even watch this, Tony, unless you are playing the game and a bunch of onlines. You earn credit. Maybe you have money. Maybe it's a VC system and you can spend money to click Tony. And maybe they have Up, Up, Down, Down is holding a special event with WWE 2K where you're in the crowd, Tony. What would you do if you had that option? How could you sell that to somebody? What feature would you want if you were in the crowd? How do you see that playing out, Tony? If I could click a lobby.
The future of video games is Battle Royale. This is a spin on the Battle Royale genre. Although I do like the flyover the outdoor WrestleMania where we have 100 superstars drop in and we get a crazy Royal Rumble type match. I like this idea for a certain reason is that you could have this set up as a community event, right? You talked about it. You all log in at 7 p.m. the same time you're ready to go. Let's watch this show.
Or maybe you show up late.
Kicker. What?
Or maybe you show up late. Maybe you can't be there on time, so you get a discounted ticket, or maybe you get comp tickets.
Here's how you make it work, right? You can be a part of this show, right? We have a limited amount of tickets, right? There's different ways that you can get one of these tickets, whether it's just straight out paying, whether it's VC, or whether maybe, you do some challenges in the game and then you unlock a pass to get in. I don't know how you want to do it, but you set this to a limited number of people. Now you're probably thinking, why we want the most people to watch this whole thing? Yeah, well, those limited number of people actually get physical seats in the game. You take the first 100 people, they get their seats. Their character is sitting in the front row. The rest of the people, they can watch, but they just can't be in the crowd. While you're in the crowd, get this. You have emotes. You want to do the floss while John Cena's coming down to the ring? Do it.
Could you start chanting? Could you everybody in the crowd, could you hear it like little, you could have a list of approved chants.
Got it.
Yeah, you could have a list of approved chants and then it would pop up like a voting system like in other games, like when you go to like CS:GO, right? You vote the map. If you start a chant like you deserve it, it would pop up. Chant you deserve it or no. And then you could have chants that die. Dude, that would be...
Could you imagine? Let's go, Cena. Cena sucks. Pick a side right now.
Dude. Yo. And maybe maybe this could happen live. Maybe this would be something like they work on. Like maybe this is a DLC pack where they build a custom pay-per-view using the in-game engine or something. Maybe it doesn't even have to be live. Like this would be awesome where you could come in and be a part of the pay-per-view and this sucks. Or like, you know what you mean? You could like just go nuts, dude. This is the best idea I think we've ever had. Like,
I think it's perfect because you can have that mix of like community, which I think this game has, but it also doesn't have, you know what I mean? Where it's like, there is a community, but it's not like a close community. And if you do like these events where you get everybody involved at the same time, like with the Road to Glory and that community, it's more like a competitive thing. But now with this, you'll be joining people together and they can cheer on their favorite superstars. And I don't know how you would want to program it. I've seen games do this before, but maybe you could do something where the chant that would happen if you go John Cena sucks or you still got it or whatever, whichever side you pick, which is good or bad, whichever one wins based off of the number of people do it, that will give the person wrestling momentum in the match.
Oh my, Tony.
Whether it's via a finisher, signature, maybe just help them out, maybe like one of their paybacks or something, whatever it could be. You could add that in as a feature. So it's basically like a voting system. It's like a poll, right? It's a virtual poll pretty much. Whichever you choose to chant rises the ranks of that poll. How that poll ranks after that minute or so, that decides what happens in the match. So then it'll go towards this guy or towards this guy. The momentum will turn in the match.
And if you have like a federation, or you have a league or something, and you want to, everybody could in unison boo, you could have, like you said, the momentum to where if you have a superstar that's constantly getting voted booed, it's like they get labeled as a heel. If they get a face, they kind of get like tagged as a face. So you could have like quick turns out of nowhere where it could pop up and you'd have the chance to be like, wait, holy, and then like all of a sudden you could flip on them. Like, dude, there's so much you could do here. Like, if you could have,
that it's like it's just unlimited opportunities here, because as WWE, the best part of an experience in WWE fans is to be there in the crowd and watch this live and influence the way the show goes. And what better way than to do that than to be in the crowd, to do those chants, to do the flosses. You know what? Bring a sign. You want to bring your favorite sign to the show. There it is. Hold it up. At TonyPizzaGuy is right there on the WWE community event. There it is.
Oh my gosh. Dude, like, okay, and even if you were worried about like the size, you could just have it like an indie arena. Like, dude, you could do so much with this just to be able to view it. Like I said, I think we'd have to wait until like cloud computing or like the cloud gaming, so you could play cross-platform. Because this idea, Tony, like if you're sitting, maybe WWE 2K20, which I love the idea on the Switch. It's unfortunate they didn't get it to work. I don't want to hammer home because it's not that easy to do. But like cross-play where you could do this on any console, because you and I know this better than anybody. When we used to do these lobbies, we always invited on Xbox because it was easier. PSN sucked. So if you were able to cross-play this, where if eventually, and this isn't on 2K, this is on cloud gaming as a whole, it has to become the standard, where any device could watch. It would be like watching the WWE Network on the Roku, a Chromecast, a TV, a PS4. Mm-hmm. You could watch these events on a Switch. You could watch these events anywhere. And then if WWE wanted to, like, they had to go corporate, maybe for licensing reasons, maybe like they can't risk like non-approved people being a part of this, maybe they run the event once a month. Then maybe this idea starts off with only them doing it because they can't risk it, right? So if they started something like that, where once a month they did these big events, kind of like Road to Glory, where you could come in. Maybe they have superstars come in and like play the characters, or whatever, something like that, and you could still come in and watch it. And the incentive for them would be, like you said, to maybe you charge for chants or emotes, or you're sitting in the crowd, you can bring a sign in. Oh, dude.
Could you imagine WWE Games Universe? Clap your hands as we begin the community event. Xavier Woods.
Dude, you're just like getting them hyped up. They promote their Twitch. They could do this on Up, Down, Down. Like, maybe this is just Xavier Woods mode.
Even if it's not that, here's what even if the far-fetched of like the live event, maybe pre-record the matches and then just have the game engine play the match out.
And then you could still chant.
You can still chant and sit in the crowd and make it happen.
Like, could you imagine like just
being there, yeah.
Could you just imagine like the community creations, like, or the people like coming up with these, like, because they're approved like animations and emotes in WWE, so you're just sitting there, and then if you could find a way, like I said, where it's just a watching, and they could, with your cause, because like you said, this would be like your cause in a game. It would be like your avatar, the person you go to my careers with or whatever. If you could have like the shocked Miz face girl, or like the shocked Ring Undertaker thing, like you have a surprise match, and then like all of a sudden they pan the crowd or something, like that would be way too hard. But like,
oh my gosh, yes, they do have different camera angles in the game that cut, dude. So I could imagine them cutting to like the crowd at one point or another.
Yeah, you could just like it would be like a replay system, like where the system tracks like when they chanted like the oh my gods, where everybody came in. So it's just like the replay system where it focuses, except this replay system is more for the crowd, and then it's able to match it up, dude. Or maybe like they can't.
Here's the other thing, right? WWE has a feature after the event. Let's say like the next week or whatever, they'll have it like a page where like, oh, we don't have a community event going on right now this week, but let's take a look from last week, some of the highlights, and let's also show off some of the signs, some of the best signs, and we'll tag those people that made those best signs, and we'll show them like those pictures off in the game. You just go to like the community event, check out some of the past signs, look at that, and you could see like sign of the week. Because they used to do that on WWE.com, like signs of the week. They could do that on here, and then obviously just pick like the best funny signs or like the coolest signs or whatever.
Dude. I think like we invented a new mode, and this is like, again, I don't want to get people's hopes up for this because a lot of this isn't on 2K. Like they can't control servers, they can't control all this technology. Like I think this is like where we're going to be going with like 5G, with all this crazy stuff. But if we do get this, Tony, I'm coming back to online streaming. I'm coming because like it's just a little too hard to invite people. Like I don't get special guest referee matches. I don't get the stuff that I personally enjoy loving. Like I love making simulation matches, but online I want to be able to have fun. Like you said, I want to go in, cheer these crowd chants, dude. Imagine getting kicked out too, where you could have like security.
You have like your own meter, and if you do like bad stuff, then it goes down and you get kicked out.
Tony. Oh my God.
Like it's a manager, like the manager meter, right? You know how it pops up and it shows you like, okay, you interfered too many times, you're gonna get kicked out.
Yeah, because even the players in game, like you said, so you could control the players. You could
and you can report the offensive signs and stuff too. So you got all that going on. Make sure that everything's safe here.
I think this is something that we're going to have to talk to the community and get their ideas and come back to this, because I think we laid a strong foundation, Tony, because when you're building an idea, you got to have the foundation, because without a good foundation, you can't build upon it, Tony. So,
you could okay, so like before you get in the community event, we have tonight's main event is Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar. Choose a side. Which t-shirt do you want to wear to the event? And you pick your Seth Rollins t-shirt and you're wearing that in the crowd.
Dude. Because like, and if you're not wearing it, you could be like a rebel and wear a community creation shirt. Like,
yeah, you could do that too. You could wear like the club shirt or something,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you pay extra points to where like if they don't want it approved, but it's like they have like a list of shirts they don't want worn, right? But like you can like sneak it in where you could be like the fan that like rips it off, or like you could be like Enzo ringside and try to interrupt the show.
Now you're getting a little bit much here. Now you're going far off the
Come on, man. Here, come on.
I do think the community thing where you can all get in and watch at the same time and cheer it on is something that needs to happen. Even if, as early iteration as it could be would be just each console, right? PC, Xbox, PlayStation, they can all get on and watch their community event at the same time. The only thing that I don't know if they could do the cheering thing would be cool. I would love to see your character in the front row, but as it's still in its infancy right now, I don't know if that would be a thing. Even just all tuning in to watch a match together.
Yeah, like it may just be like a pop-up where maybe you're just viewing it from the crowd or the TV angle, and like maybe you're sitting at like it's giving you like a TV screen like the old Netflix watch days. So you're sitting in the crowd, so you see like the backs of the heads, and then that's when the pop-ups come up of like cheer this, because maybe like they can't physically get 100 cause in the ring because that would be too much hassle. But if you're all just viewing it like you said, and it's just a pop-up, cheer this or do this.
I don't think it would be the best option to have the crowd view. I think it should still be the gameplay view, just for like.
Well, that's what I mean. Gameplay. I mean like that overall view, like if you were playing it, essentially.
Oh, right. Yeah, and then the pop-up comes in and you can do whatever.
And then you can do that.
I also think picking a side, who do you think is going to win this match, is like one of the fun things about it. And then, like I said, you take a party in there, a party of 4, and then you go in and you can chat together with them. It's like it's the Netflix, Xbox 360 days when you could watch movies together. That's what it is.
And the future of this, Tony, would be if you pay for the VR license, you could put the headset on and see from your actual seat. If you paid for that, if you paid for the extra accessories and the VR bundle, like you could pay extra.
The WWE headset they used to have in the crowd.
Dude,
listen to live commentary.
Yeah, so you could have a VR. So if you have like an Oculus, you could like pay for an Oculus subscription so you could sit ringside and like look around. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up there. I want to know what the fans think. If they were to do this idea, what would sell it for you? Just being in the crowd? Do you want emotes like Fortnite? Do you want to floss on everybody, dab on them? Like what would you guys want as far as chance? Because I think we all agree there's some chance we don't want in game, Tony. Like I'm pretty sick of it. So
could you imagine if they had the 2 chant, or 2 sweet, or 1 fall? The following match is scheduled for 1 fall. 1 fall.
Oh my God, yeah. And if you don't like the match, like you said, it could just be silent. Oh, dude. And then like both superstars' morale go down. We could talk for this all day, Tony. We just gotta let him just tell us what you guys think.
The last thing is add the star rating after the match. You rate it as everybody's rating comes in. That's the Dave Meltzer Wrestling Observer report.
Because that would work. It's like when you're in the crowd and they vote for 4 options. Because then in their, like you said, their weekly report, they can go in and they said, we had a high fan, they loved this match, because you could just like literally show a stat sheet of like 64% voted this way, 36% voted that way. And then it's just a screenshot of this is who favored in this match. That would be the easiest thing in the world. Maybe the emotes are too crazy, but maybe it's just you're viewing online. You have some pop-ups that show up. That's what I want, Tony. That's the baseline. That's if I was to get this idea.
That's the feasible option that could possibly make it into a WWE game. Not like the cloud gaming, ultimate 100 people in the crowd, VR headsets, everyone's good to go. That's not the feasible option. Would be those pop-ups, the match rating, and watching this live experience.
That's where it is. All right, guys, you can follow me at TubbyEmu. I wouldn't unless you like waiting for the payoff at TonyPizzaGuy. Man, I appreciate you talking about this. This is getting my creative juice this one, and I can't wait to see what your audience and my audience has to say about this idea. And maybe they have some ideas we didn't even think about, Tony. So it's just so I'm so passionate about this. A lot of people, games anymore. No, we're as passionate as ever since we started in SVR 2011 or whenever you started. I know I was back in that day. 2010, yeah. SVR 2010 was my first one. Hey, can I just say this? This is how I knew Kofi Kingston would be over. Do you know the first WWE video I ever recorded was, Tony? Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton. That's it. Well, my first WWE video was The Miz versus the Druids, so I don't know what that says for anything. There it is. All right, guys, until next time. My name is Toby Moo. Thanks for watching. Tony, you can send it home on your side, man. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching, guys. Again, let us know your thoughts, comments in the comment section below. I'm TonyPizzaGuy at TonyPizzaGuy at TubbyEmu. Follow us, and we'll see you in another video. Frag out.